Good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughan for Sam Sports Report. The Royals are off to a good start. Let's get started with them. The Royals are off to the best start in a long time. They've won 7 games in a row. The bullpen has been able to get it together as of late. The offense has been scoring. This is their third perfect homestand since just 1985 when they won it all in 1988. The pitching has been able to put it together especially in the starting pitching. The offense put it together. They won close games. They won blowouts. They won a game every way you should, which every day you know how. The Royals put up on Wednesday. They wanted to put up 7, 11, and 2, and 11 and 2. Yesterday they put up the most runs, 9 runs. That's the first time that's happened for the Royals, third time in history since 2006. In 1986, before doing it today in 2025. The Royals outscored the Astros in scores 28-8. Salvador Perez was hitting. Vinny Pasquantino is starting to hit. Nelson Vasquez is hitting. Royals doing it by committee, by bullpen for closing the games now. Smith maybe can jump back into that. Will Smith. The strongest part of the starting pitching: Cole Reagans, Brady Singer, Seth Lugo, Michael Waka, Alec Marsh. Here's Jeff Passan with more.
Chicago White Sox will do that, right? Like, I don't want to get too far out over my skis here and say that, the Royals are back and that this is going to be a contending team. I mean, I think we can all look back at a couple of years ago when the month of April ended and the Royals had the best record in Major League Baseball. And yeah, it didn't wind up going that way for the rest of the season. But I will say this, the things that we highlighted last week, the starting pitching's been dynamite. It's been a joy to watch. And, seeing professional big league pitchers like Seth Lugo and Michael Waka, guys who have been around the block and who have been successful elsewhere, come in and do their thing here. It's just had this downstream effect of stability on this team. When you go out there every night, Seren, and you can expect a good outing from your starting pitcher, the psychological effect that has on the rest of the team is so profound. And I think that's a big part of what the Royals are seeing. And oh, yeah, by the way, like, their bullpens pitched extremely well. And that's what they were missing that first week because even though they went 2-4, a lot of the same things we're seeing now, we were seeing then. It just was without good relief pitching.
Yeah. And we saw Vinny Pasquantino finally have a big day. There are parts of the game, they limp through without the bullpen. That's coming around. Yeah, I mean, and I get your point about the White Sox, and I agree. But, I mean, all the Yankees could do is sweep them as well. So they did all they could do. And I think now, though, the 2 wins against the Astros, who I know are scuttled a little bit and having their problems and dealing with some injuries, but they're still the Astros. That validates it a lot more, though, right? Like, that gives you a lot more inspiration and the come from behind wins. Yeah, the professionalism, not wetting your pants down 3-0, continuing to work the at-bats. I mean, that's what jumps out on an offensive side. And can you listen? I don't know why you crapped on the bullpen, but you did, Jeff. I'm just kidding. We both were talking about the problems that they had.
I was going to say, let's take some responsibility here, Mr. Petro.
Hey, they were having problems, but 18 scoreless innings.
They haven't given up a run in a week, though. Right? Like you look at MacArthur, 3 2/3 scoreless. Stratton, 3 scoreless, and these are earned runs, by the way. Schreiber, 2 2/3. Zerpa, 2 2/3. Sauer, 2. Lyles, 2. Anderson, 2. Even Will Smith's in on the game. Like, if you can make it through a week with the only runs you give up coming from your starting pitchers, and at that only 10 earned over 55 innings of the last 6 games, I mean, goodness, like that is the recipe. And the fact that the bullpen has stepped up like it has, I don't know if it's going to continue. I still have questions, but I've been very happy to see, especially like the James MacArthur of last September show up again. You know, a guy who's in the zone, whose stuff is nasty, who's got strikeout stuff, and who looks like he has a chance to be a closer here for a while. I mean, the Royals coming into spring training this year wanted James MacArthur to grab that job. And I don't think they thought that it was going to happen this early in the season. I think they had hoped that Will Smith was going to be more of a bridge guy, but that's okay. Like that's a good problem to have when you have someone stepping up and taking the reins on an important role.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, I think we felt all along that if the Royals were going to have, we kept talking about it, and I'm not ready to say they're headed for 120 wins. Right. But if they were going to have an 88-win season and grab the American League Central, it would be because of the young guys. Right. We had that conversation that they were the ones that had the ceiling. It would be that Bobby Whitt Jr. became a true superstar, not just a star, but a superstar. Pasquantino, became a legitimate middle of the order bat, all those different things. We knew the bullpen. Will Smith was there to kind of hold it to get to a guy like MacArthur. We just didn't think it'd happen this quick. Right? Like that's
and it's I'll tell you the thing that I've enjoyed watching the most during this week, and it's such a tiny little nerdy baseball thing. Watching Nelson Velasquez take sliders to the opposite field.
Right.
Like he did that a couple of times last night. And I understand it's so early in the season. I do not anticipate Nelson Velasquez is going to be a 343 hitter for the remainder of the year. But we know that there's immense power there, and Salvador Perez is doing what he always does. Like the guy he's just a hitter. And Bobby Whitt Jr. I cannot say enough about.
Yeah,
he's so good, man.
We'll say more about him. How good is he?
I think, did I say last week he's a top 10 player in baseball?
I don't know. I can't remember. Sometimes I don't listen.
Yeah, you don't listen or you're old. One of the two.
No, I don't think you did. I think I would have remembered that because I actually do listen. And I remember the ones where you stick your flag in the ground. And I don't remember that. That must have been something you decided since then.
Yeah, I think you can make a really, really good argument right now that, with the production, with the speed, with the power, with all of the metrics, and especially with the position. I mean, when you have a shortstop who can hit the way that he does, it's almost tough to not put him among the top 10 players in baseball. He's just, Sarah Langs earlier today, a good friend over at MLB, tweeted out a list of players with the most batted balls of 110 plus miles per hour this season, and Bobby Whitt Jr. was at the top of the list. You don't get there by accident, right? That's not something that you don't luck into 110 plus consistently. You do that because you are a dude. And he is a capital D dude.
I will remember that. He is a capital D dude.
When I look at the Royals and this start that they're off on, it's not just in comparison, Soren, to the 56 that they won last year. Going 56 and 106 is an embarrassing thing, and anything is better than that, right? But I think, like, when you have a 12-game stretch where you're 4 over, that you bank that. And in a division where every win is going to count, those 12-game stretches where you're 4 up, like that's a really good thing.
Yeah. All right. Who wins more games in the end, Royals or Astros?
Astros.
Royals record, what are you feeling?
$80 and 82.
Ooh,
and I think I started off the year at 76 and 86 or 74 and 88, somewhere in that vicinity. I'm more bullish now.
Okay.
The formula is growing on me, but I still need to see more.